Okay, this video we are going to see how to use match in Rust programming language. Rust match in Rust provides pattern matching, um, similar to switch statement in C programming language. So, but in Rust using match you can do a lot of um, matching, even values for structures or enums or even references you can put in match. And there are you can do matching for tuples, pointers, etc. So we will see some of the examples in this video. So the first example is we have a variable exp with value 10, and we want to check whether what is the value of exp, and if it's 10 we have to do something. We have to print that it is 10. So, and so I'm just doing that alone and compare trying to compile. I can do compilation using cargo build. I think it's not saved. You see, there is an error message. The program is not compiled. The reason is non-exhaustive patterns. That means the Rust compiler will check for full exhaustive pattern matching for a value. If you just pass a value, then it will check for that particular value and any other values that comes what this match expression has to do. That also we have to define. So that is what exhaustive matching. So that we can do with just underscore and same um, equal to greater than, then what we have to do if any other condition, any other value come. So this makes sure that we are doing an exhaustive matching for exp, and this will safeguard us from some unknown values or unknown features from some of the expressions or some of the data we are getting from outside. We can do an exhaustive matching and handle uh, if the values are not something what we supposed to get. So having said that, we can just run now. Just doesn't say clear cargo run. Yes. Now this part you can ignore. I'm planning to talk about this later, but now we can see that it is 10. This print statement is executed. So this is what the value matching. And now we can do something with um, reference maybe. Okay, let us do reference. You know what is reference? Reference is just a pointer to a value, a reference to a value. So if you just give ampersand 5, that means this is reference is a reference to value 5. And time being you can ignore this. and we are doing pattern matching for the reference is reference we are doing and checking, and we are just putting the same thing ampersand val and getting the value here. This will be our value 5. So we will see what happens here. Cargo run, we got a error. Actually we have to comment this part. I'm commenting this as well for time being. Now we will compile again. Run. Line number 74. 74. Cargo run. Yeah. Here we got value from reference equal to 5. We got the value. So we can, if you have a reference, you can just put it in the match, but only thing is you have to use ampersand variable for getting the variable value from the reference. And another thing is, if you don't want to use the ampersand inside the match expression, what you can do is you can do dereference the reference. So star is reference will give you the value, and we can do the val thing here. So by dereferencing, you'll see what will happen now. Cargo run. Yes, we got the same value 5 using dereferencing the match expression, match pattern. Now we can do, if you don't like to give star for the reference, you can do a ref keyword for a reference for a value, and you can just use it. I think I haven't used, yeah. We can just use it in the match. So match is refer x. Not that I'm not using star here, but same time I'm not using ampersand here, but I'm trying to get the value inside the match and trying to print it using ref. Clear cargo run. We'll compile. Yes, we got value for from reference with ref keyword, what is why it is 10, why it is 10. Oh, is it, oh, it's for exp. Okay, that's fine. It is reference for the variable or identifier exp. So that's why it's getting that. And you can do one more thing here. What I'm doing is I'm doing passing the exp and trying to create a mutable reference for the exp variable or exp identifier with ref mute r, where r is a mutable reference to exp, and I'm trying to mutate the value by assigning operator. How can I do that? I can just do star r equal to some value. Here I'm giving 11. So the value was 10, it got changed to 11. Now I'm printing r here. You will see what is printing. Mutable reference for exp and changing the value. Yes, mutable reference for exp and changing the value. Value is now 11. You see, I'm printing the exp here and I'm getting 11. The value exp got changed and we got a variable r. But if you try to use r here, you'll see what will happen. R equal to r. Some error, cannot find value r in the scope. Yes, that's what this r is only valid inside the scope. It is not valid outside. So we cannot use r outside. So we are commenting that, but you can use exp. So what happened is we got a mutable reference and we mutated the exp value. So having said that, we can move on to some of the result uh, enums changing, pattern matching. So what is result? Let me show you what is result. Result is actually an enum, result of t comma e, where you have two uh, types, OK type and error type. OK will return t, OK with t, and error will return error with e. So we will see what is this in this example. So I'm just creating a good result and I'm giving OK 10. OK, whatever we are giving with inside OK, it will be a good result. It will be going to this value. Whatever we are giving with error type, error packets, that will be an error and it will be going to this. So this is a bad result and this is a good result. What I want to do is I want to find out the value if I get a good result. So what we can do is match and the variable, the identifier, and do an OK x. X will be the value. If it's a good result, we'll get that. If it's an error, we will get E as the error. The same thing I'm doing for bad result we created here. I'm doing the same OKX and error E and printing the same. We'll see what happened when we compile. see here, result is 10. We got the good result. When we pass the good result to the match pattern matching, we got the value x value as 10 and got printed. When we That's it, the error is ignored in that. The first match found and it got executed. But when we did pattern matching on bad result variable, we found that it did not match okay, it matched error because we created error. It matched error and it got executed this, and we got the value e as error happened. That is what we given here. So that way you can pattern match and get error and result from variables, from result types. So result type is an error handling. Result TE is the type used for returning and propagating errors. It is an enum with variance OKT for representing success containing a value, and error E representing error with containing error value. Yeah. So we have discussed result pattern matching as well. Now we can move on to struct pattern matching. Here I'm creating a struct. Let me show you what was that struct. Foo is a struct with x and y variables. In that type are i32, integer 32. Here I'm creating, inside the main I'm creating a foo object. It is f is the object with value 1, x as 1 and y as 3, and I'm trying to do a pattern match on this object or instance created with that foo struct. So when you do match f and just to match on struct x comma y, you're actually getting the values of x, y. The pattern is struct is matched with this pattern and is matched, the values are actually copied. So you will be getting x and y here. We will see what is the value of x and y. Maybe you can give some other name. You can C D, and here C and D. Okay, the pattern does not maintain fields x, mention fields x and y. Okay, it has to be x and y because that is the type we defined. Struct, that is the variables we defined inside the struct. So the type we defined. So match f foo x y, here x comma y, clear cargo 1. We got 1 and 3 printed here, so that is what we are printing here. So it's matched with this struct. Now we can see one more example where we are trying to do option pattern matching. Options are options in Rust which will have a value, some value or none. It's an enum. Uh, it's a type. Option represents optional value. Uh, Anybody? Either some that contains a value or none that does not. So these are the two two types you have in enum. Option enum. One is none, another one is some t. Okay, so here I'm just defining a option variable op where if b equal to c, I will be assigning op with some value for, else I will be assigning none. And here I'm trying to pattern match op and print out. If it's none, I want to execute this, not a value. If it's some x, some value, I need to print the value x. And as you can see, this is an if expression which will be evaluated and passed assigned to op. So we want to see what is b and c. B is 2 and C is 3. So what is this expression? B equal to C? No, it is false. So it is going to assign none. And it has to match this switch, this match pattern, and it has to print execute this statement. We will see what will happen. What happened? These are all previous thing. Not a value. Yes, we got op, and op is matched with this branch, and it is executed this statement. Now I want to test this with changing the value of C to 2. Clear cargo 1. What was our other one? opt match successful. Yes, match successful and 4 is printed. Okay, good. Now I want to see if b equal to c. I'm just putting a condition in the branch. Not see it, we got a compilation error. We are not doing an exhaustive pattern matching. So it is saying this is a non-exhaustive pattern. We are not considering some other value other than x, other than this condition. If some other value, we are missing out that value. So Rust is helping us here. So what we can do is we can put if some any other value, that is underscore, we are we are printing uh, this is not the matching B is not equal to C. Now the error is gone. We will compile and see. Match is successful because P is C. I want to remove this 3, change this B to 3, and also I want to remove this. If what I will give, I will want to give can't find hop in the scope. Control Z. Okay, we will give A equal to C with let okay D equal to 10 or 15. Clear cargo on. Yeah, still it is getting as none because D equal to C is not, it's false, and it is assigning none, and this pattern is matching. I want to check what will happen. Some 2 or some 20. Let's give 20. We will see what will happen. Control run. So 20. So hop is some 20. None. No, this is not matching. Some X. This is actually, this is if B equal to C. No, B is what? B is 3 and C is 2. So this is not matching. So this pattern, this branch is not matching, and the last branch is sum of any other value. So it has to print this. So this is matching. B is not equal to C, or last branch. So these are the different type of pattern matching you can do. I hope I have covered most of them. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. See you soon.